I'm going to make this video on using Relocate plus a few other things. I set up a project in SAM on my laptop. I have brought that over to the Statler computer on a USB drive. I'm going to click on the USB drive, open all the files that are on there, going down to projects, double click and open it. Here I have a project all set up. I'm going to right click, copy it, go over to my C drive, double click to open everything that's on there. I go scroll down to projects. I'm going to right click and paste that project in that folder. And if I go to the projects folder, double click on it to open it, scroll down to the name, I should be able to find that project by name. And right here is one. This is the one I just pasted in there. Billy Carson Frog Quilt 2 Bubbles 5/1/2015. I'm going to exit out of this. Creative Studio is running in the background. It's minimized. I'm going to click on that, bring it up, go to File, Open Project. No, I don't want to save the current project. And I'll scroll down to that project that I just loaded. Or actually, I could just type right here. The easy way to do it is do this. Make sure that this is all highlighted. So as soon as I type in the BILL, the Billy Carson projects comes up. There's Frog Quilt 2 Bubbles. And I'm going to highlight it, open it in Creative Studio, and there's the project. I set that up in SAM and I brought it to my Statler computer and I just loaded it. Now, this project is not located in the correct place on the quilt, so I have the foot sitting in the upper left corner. I'm going to use the select all and I'm going to tell it I want to relocate. I select relocate and I need to use relocate, shift selected to one point. I can use this because I have everything selected. I click on that, it tells me to click on a known point on the CAD. The upper left corner is where the foot is sitting, and this is the upper left corner of the quilt right there. I'll just click on that, click yes. The quilt is aligned now around the upper left corner of the quilt. So I'm good to go. Now all I need to do is draw a boundary and check for the alignment of this project. I'm going to pause my recorder. I have this project all relocated, boundary drawn, the pattern adjusted to fit inside the boundary, and I'm ready to quilt out the first row. I have quilted that area, first row, and now I'm ready to do a relocate. I have several options. You notice my needle says, the crosshair says my needle is way up here in this upper right area. And I'll zoom way in so you can see. It says it's way up in this upper right corner, when actually the needle is at the end of the last stitched area. It's right at this point, right there is where the needle, the actual needle, not laser, but needle. So I'm going to click on the continue icon, and it says, have you rolled the quilt? Position the needle at the last sewn pattern endpoint. Yes, I have. Click yes. And it just automatically adjusts everything into the right position. Now I could have used other options rather than that. And maybe on the next row I'll show you another way of doing this. I'm going to do the relocate again. I'm going to do it a different way. I'm going to get rid of this boundary, and I will draw a new boundary. You can see this quilt's not very straight on the sides. This is a very poorly constructed quilt. And what I've decided to do, it indicates the needle's way up here, but really, in reality, the needle is, in fact, right there. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do a relocate. I'm going to choose Shift All to one point. Relocate. Shift All to one point. I'll move this out of the way so we can see what we're doing. Shift All to one point. The point I want to use is this point right there. So I'll just click on it. Click yes. And there, my pattern field is completely moved into position. I'll do my boundary and do an adjustment to the patterns. You can see how the edge of this is so uneven, and I'm going to adjust this pattern to fit in the area. So I'm going to select these last two rows, and I'm going to move this over like that and move the right side in some. Now this quilt is so crazy. So since I have this adjusted, this is going to fit pretty good at the bottom. I'm going to adjust this row and use my little arrow, because I can't use my F9, 10, and 11 key because they're tied to the recorder. I'm going to switch this. I want to do a little bit, and I wish these handles worked a little bit user friendly. Sometimes they do not. So I'm going to just pull that over, go over to the other side and do the same thing. And yes, I know it's going to make the bubbles look a little wonky, but you know what? Nothing I can do about that. I want to fill up the space. Have this all set now. I'm going to save it and quilt it out. I can use another method for doing a relocate. I'm going to select this pattern, the first repeat in the last row that was sewn, and I'm going to go down and use Relocate Project Origin. I have it at the start point of that first repeat in the last row sewn, and this should work. There it is. That's the start point of the first repeat in the last row that I stitched, and that's where it says it has been adjusted to. Last row has been adjusted. All I have to do now is stitch out the last row and the project will be finished. This is a demonstration of many uses of relocate.